Here is the plan to create place order screen. Before going for this screen, because we send API request to backend to create an order, we need to authenticate the API request. Also, we need to make sure that place order screen is protected by routing system in React Router DOM. So unauthenticated user shouldn't be able to see this page. To do that, we create a component named protected route. Let's go to the components folder. In frontend src components, create new file, set file name to protected route.tsx. What I'm gonna do here is to create a React component and set the name of component to protected route and export default this component. Then get user info from React context using use context hook from React and import store from store, pass it to this hook and extract user info from the state. The rest is easy. We need to have a check if user info exists, return outlet. What is outlet? Is the page to render by React Router DOM. But if user info does not exist, use navigate component to redirect user to the sign-in page. Import outlet and navigate from React Router DOM. Save the code to format it, and let's go for next step. And let's use it. Go to main.tsx. Here we have shipping and payment, and they should be protected because user without sign-in cannot see this screen. To do that, I create a new route right before shipping, set the route path to empty string and element to protected route, and close the route. Import protected route from components folder, and whatever we put here should pass from the protected route. And if user info does not exist, user will not see routes inside the protected route. So what I'm gonna do is to move these two protected route inside the parent route. Very simple, yeah? Let's check the result. I just go homepage, add to cart, proceed to checkout. Let me log out and type shipping in the URL. As you see, I get redirected to shipping screen. You may ask that in the shipping screen, you may wonder that in the shipping screen, we already have condition in the use effect. If user info does not exist, redirect to shipping. But the thing is, if I get rid of it and the user info and save the code and try to enter shipping, as you see, I get redirected to sign-in screen. So there is no need to have this code anymore, but if you keep it, it doesn't hurt. Let's go for next step. Here we protected the front end part. I'm going to add a feature to the API client to add the user token in the header of request when we send API to the backend. Go to API client.ts, and after creating API client from Axios create, define interceptors for requests. When we send a request, before sending request using API client interceptor, we can modify the request, and in the header of request, we want to put the bearer token to authenticate the user. In the use function, we pass another function as parameter. Here is an async function that accepts configuration. It's the current configuration of API client, and we're gonna modify the configuration. How can I modify it? I have an if condition. If in the local storage we have user info for config.headers.authorization, here is the request. Change the value of authorization to bearer and token. What is token? I'm getting token from the local storage in the user info and extract token by JSON parsing the user info and extracting token, passing to this expression. So inside the header request, I will have authorization with bearer token, and in the backend, I can read it and authenticate the request. But we only modify the authorization if user is logged in. Otherwise, we return config as it is. Save the code. And as second parameter for use, we need to have error. If there is an error, use promise reject error to return the error message. Great. We defined in interceptor for Axios, and when there is a new request, we fill the authorization in the request. Next step is creating order hooks inside hooks folder. Go to hooks, right-click, new file, orderhooks.ts. Because we are going to send an AJAX request to backend in React query, we need to define a hook. And the type of this hook is modifying or mutating data in backend. So I need to use this format. Put mutation at the end and put use at the beginning of the hook. The action that I'm going to do is creating order. So the name should be use create order mutation. Like always, hooks return another function, and the name of function here is use mutation from React query. Use mutation, accept object as parameter, and the first field in this object is mutation function. For mutation function, I'm going to define this function. It's an async function that accepts order. Here is the type of order. And inside that, I call post method on API client at this address /API/orders. We already created this API in previous lesson. And as a payload of this request, I pass the order that I pass through use create order mutation from the front end, from the place order page. Then I get the result of this API and extract the data. Here is the return value from the backend and use it in the front end using use create order mutation. Get rid of extra opening, closing, curly bracket, and save the code and start importing stuff. Cart item from types folder, shipping address, API client from RC folder, and order. Oops, we do not have order. Let's create order type. It's super simple. Just go to the types folder, right click, new file, order.ts. For creating an order, we use cart items, shipping address, and user. We do not have user, just duplicate the user info, rename it to user, and add only one field. It is ID of type string, and rename it to user. So if we go back to order.ts, we shouldn't get any error for importing user from user. Next step is defining order type using export type order and list all fields of order. Here is list of all orders. The first field is the ID of order, order items, shipping address and payment method, the user that created this order, created at, the date of creation of order, is paid status, the paid date of order, is delivered status, the delivered date of order, and the prices, items price, shipping price, tax price, and total price. Let's go back to order hooks and import order from types folder. Awesome. Good, we shaped the user order mutation and we are ready to use it in the place order screen. Let's go to the pages folder and create new file for place order page.tsx. In this page, create place order page component, then define navigate from use navigate hook in React Router DOM, then extract cart and user info from React context using use context hook and import store. Then define round to function. It accepts a number and round it by 2 decimal points. So if we have a number like this, it should be converted to 2 decimal point. We use math.round in JavaScript and we multiply it with number.epsilon to get rid of any mathematical issue in the calculation. Then calculate items price by calling reduce function on the cart items in the cart of React context. And what we did here is to multiplying quantity of each item by price of each item and summing up together and put it to the item's price. It's the sum of items price in the cart. Then use items price to calculate shipping price, tax price, and total price. As you see, I'm using round 2 to convert any decimal point to the standard value. For shipping price, if items price greater than 0, make it 0, otherwise use 10. You can have any other logic that you want here. For tax price, I'm using a fixed tax price. You can make it dynamic if you want. And for total price, I just summing up all 3 prices that I calculated in previous steps. Next step is defining use create order mutation, import it from hooks folder, and get mutate async. By calling this function, we send AJAX request to backend. I rename it to create order to use it better in the code and get is loading status from this hook. The last function in this component is place order handler. When user click on place order, this function respond. What we're gonna do here is to define a try catch block, and in the try, call create order from use create order mutation and pass cart items as order items, because in the backend we have order items, not cart items. We rename it to order items. And other fields are coming from the cart in the front end, and we pass them as payload to the create order API to backend. After sending request, we get the result in the data variable. We need them in the next step. And then we need to clear cart, because at this point the order is created and the shopping cart should be cleared. To do that, I need to define cart clear action. Go to the store.tsx and right after cart remove item, add cart clear. There is no payload here. Then After cart remove item, add a case for cart clear. And the return value for cart clear is very simple. I return previous state, previous cart, and only remove items in the cart items and set them to empty array. Save it. Go back to place order. There is no error here. And also remove cart items from the local storage. Then navigate user to the order page, /order/ID of order. The ID of order is in the order._ID because if you remember from the order router, after creating an order, we return this object. So here is the data. So data.order_ID, like what we did here. At the end, import toast from React Toastify to show error if there is an error in creating order. Import get error and API error from utils and types folder. Save the code to format it. Here is place order handler. Good, we are ready to shape the JSX of this component. But before going for it, I'm going to define useEffect, import it from React, and have a check here if the payment method is not selected in previous step, redirect user to the payment method. Let's shape the JSX, define return statement here, and return a div. Inside div, define checkout steps, import it from components folder, and set step 1 to step 4 true. Then, like always, use helmet to set the title of page and use h1 to show heading 1 in the screen. Then, define a row, import it from React Bootstrap and start, and create 2 columns. First column with MD8 to occupy 2 of 3 of the screen, and the second column 4 to show actions, to show place order button. Import column from React Bootstrap. For the first column, I'm gonna show the preview of the order. Let's start by showing the shipping address. Here is the shipping address. Create a cart, import from React Bootstrap, and in the cart body, and define cart body. Inside cart body, define cart title and set the value to shipping, and in the cart text, show shipping information from the cart. Also, put a link from React Rotterdam if user want to edit it, redirect user to the shipping screen. After shipping cart, define another cart right here. It's for payment. And the last cart is for previewing order items, cart items. So after this, here is cart for showing list of order items inside the cart in the React context. We use list group, so import it. In the cart body, we created a title. The title is items, and we create list group because we are going to shape list of orders, list of items in the cart, and use cart items.map function to convert each item to a list group item. Set key to items.key because it's unique, and inside that shape a row. So we are going to create a tabular data. Inside the row, set align items to center to put the stuff in the center. The first column is the image and the name of product. We make the name linkable so user can go to that product page and check stuff. Second column is the quantity. This time user cannot edit the number of items in the quantity. If user wanted, user should go to the cart page. We already created a link to the cart page to edit items in the cart. And the last column is the item price. Great. Create this cart. And there we are. We are ready to go for the action column. For action column, define a cart like this. Cart body, cart title is order summary. What I'm gonna show in the order summary is a list group. Right after cart title, define a list group, set variant to flush, and shape the first item in the list group. It's the item's price. Create a row, and inside that create a column, items, and next to items create another column to show the item's price. Use toFixed2 to convert the item price to the standard format 2 decimal point number. Second column is for shipping price. Third item is tax price. Fourth item is order total price using cart.total price. And at the end, create a button inside list group. And at the end, create a button using, and at the end, create a div. Set class name to d-grid to make this button full screen, to make this button full width, and define a button from React Bootstrap, set type to button, and when user click on it, call place order handler. If cart item is .length is 0, we don't have any item in the cart, make a disable, or if we processing the form, make it disable. The caption is place order. Also, I'm going to show a loader. If is loading, use loading box from components folder. Great, we created place order screen. Let's go to the main.tsx and use it. I'm defining this in the protected route part. Duplicate them and rename it to place order. Change the element to place order page, import it, and let's check the result. Select a product, add to cart, proceed to checkout, log in, shipping screen, enter address, continue, select payment method, continue. Awesome. Here is preview of the order. We have shipping information, name and address. We can edit it. Can you see? Here we go to the shipping step. We need to continue. If we want to go to place order, we can edit payment method. I can edit and select a Stripe and continue. It's Stripe now. And I have items. If I want to edit it, I just want to click on edit. Let's say I want to make this one 2 and this one 3. Click edit, 2 and 3. Continue, continue, continue. As you see, it is super handy. And in the order summary, I have sum of all orders, shipping price based on the logic that I defined, and the tax price. If I click on place order, the order is created with this ID in the backend, and I get redirected to order/order ID. In the next lesson, I create this page to show the order to the user. That's it about this lesson. Until next lesson.